Yeah, it is a big deal. Menopause and metals, especially lead. So we all know that women in menopause lose bone, but when your bones turn over, you release stored metals in your body, especially lead. And so this is why it's such a big piece for women in menopause. The other thing about lead is it doesn't degrade in the environment. It's not organic matter. So then it's transferred continuously, transported through the air, the water, the soil, just by natural means, right? So then we're still getting recycled lead in the environment. We're still getting exposed. Even though it's now banned from use and it's so toxic and it doesn't degrade, we still get exposed to it. It's actually it's a really important point because everybody gets exposed, but then what happens is that the lead, once it's been in the blood, it has a half-life. Okay, so then the half-life of lead is only about a month. So if somebody gets an acute exposure of lead, that exposure ends, the blood levels start to drop. Within 30 days, those levels cut in half. 30 more days, it's cut in half again. Then by around 3 months, about 90% of that lead is removed from their bloodstream. So where does most of that blood lead go? 90% of it goes to the bones. So those babies that are being exposed, those teenagers that are being exposed, it goes into their bones and we think it's fine there for now, right? Well, actually cadmium gets stored in the bones and it can cause toxicity to the bones, but lead is the big one. That's the big repository. So lead is going to sit there, it's going to be okay. But then when there's bone loss around osteoporosis, right, around menopause, right, women tend to osteoporosis. That's when women can become our own risk of lead exposure due to the bones starting to turn over. So the other metals get stored in the cells of our organs, our thyroid, our kidneys, our liver, and then other environmental toxins like pesticides, mycotoxins, insecticides, microplastics, they get stored in our fat cells. So there's so much here. So we'll poop, pee, sweat out metals and other toxins, but some people are going to hang on to them more. And this is where your great work comes in, right? When we think of people's genes of detoxification, when I'm looking at people's genes of detoxification and I'm looking side by side at their heavy metals, I see some people hoard metals or they hoard chemicals, and they're doing that for a number of reasons. One of them could be that they have SNPs in their genes of detoxification, so they don't have optimal detox capacity, or they don't have adequate nutritional status. They don't have enough amino acids or minerals or B vitamins. Those are the cofactors for detoxification. Or they're under a lot of stress. They've got a lot of immune dysregulation. So they're going to hang on to their metals more.